Imagine living your entire life thinking, blurry vision is normal. Now imagine that person is your child. Here is the part that catches many parents off guard. Children often don't complain about poor vision, because they don't realize anything is wrong. They assume everyone sees the world exactly the way they do. So when a child struggles in school, moves closer to the television, tilts their head while reading, or avoids certain activities, it may not be laziness. It may not be a lack of attention. And it certainly isn't always just a phase. Here is something few people talk about. Some childhood vision problems develop quietly. No pain. No dramatic symptoms. No obvious warning signs. Meanwhile, a child's eyes and brain are still learning to work together during important stages of visual development. The longer certain problems go unnoticed, the harder they may become to address. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on what a pediatric optometrist actually does, the warning signs many families overlook, and why a routine eye examination can reveal much more than simply whether a child needs glasses. Because sometimes, the biggest problem is the one no one realizes exists. Most parents believe one simple sentence. If my child couldn't see, they would tell me. It sounds logical, it feels true. But here is the problem. Children don't have another version of reality to compare their vision against. If they've always seen the world slightly blurry. If one eye has quietly been doing most of the work. If they've spent years adapting without realizing it. Then to them, that is normal. Think about it. A 4-year-old doesn't wake up and say, "Mom, I think my depth perception is getting worse." A 7-year-old doesn't understand what 20/20 vision looks like. They simply adjust, they move closer to the television. They hold books inches from their face. They tilt their head, they cover one eye without thinking, they avoid catching fast-moving balls. They lose their place while reading, or they simply work twice as hard as everyone else, and because they rarely complain, adults assume everything is fine. Here is another myth. If my child passed the school vision screening, we're good. Not necessarily. School screenings are valuable, but they're designed to identify some children who may need additional evaluation, not to replace a comprehensive eye examination. Many screenings focus on distance visual acuity, and may not assess eye teaming, focusing ability, depth perception, or overall eye health. That is an important difference. A pediatric optometrist isn't just checking whether a child can read letters on a chart. They're evaluating how the entire visual system works together. Because seeing clearly, and developing healthy vision, are not always the same thing. That is why some children look perfectly healthy, earn good grades, and never complain. Yet still have vision problems that deserve professional evaluation. And one family discovered that truth completely by accident. Picture an ordinary child happy, curious, doing well enough in school, always smiling, no complaints about their eyes, so naturally. Everyone assumes their vision is perfectly normal. But little habits begin to appear. They move closer to the television. They hold books unusually close. They rub their eyes after reading. Sometimes they lose their place on the page, sometimes they miss a ball during sports. Parents think they're distracted. Teachers think they need to pay more attention. No one suspects their eyesight. Then one day during a routine eye evaluation, something unexpected is discovered. The child's eyes aren't working together as efficiently as they should. Or perhaps one eye has been doing more of the work for years. The surprising part. The child never realized anything was wrong. Because the world had always looked that way. After receiving a comprehensive examination from a pediatric optometrist, the family finally understands what is happening. With appropriate treatment or management, based on the child's specific diagnosis, everyday tasks become easier. Reading feels less exhausting, learning becomes more comfortable, confidence begins to grow. This isn't a rare story. It is a reminder that children often adapt remarkably well to vision problems. Sometimes, so well, that the adults around them never notice. And that is exactly why relying only on symptoms can be misleading. Here is the uncomfortable reality. Many childhood vision problems don't look like vision problems. They look like everyday behavior. A child who avoids reading. A child who gets frustrated during homework. A child who struggles to catch a ball. A child who loses focus after just a few minutes. It is easy to label those behaviors. Lazy. Not paying attention. Just needs to try harder. But sometimes, vision is part of the picture. Here is something many people don't realize. Children's brains are incredibly adaptable. If one eye sees more clearly than the other, the brain may gradually rely more on the stronger eye. Some children won't notice this change because it happens slowly over time. That is one reason certain conditions can go unnoticed. No pain, no emergency, no obvious warning. Just quiet adaptation. And the longer it continues, the more normal it feels to the child. That is why experts emphasize routine eye care, not because every child has a serious problem, but because some conditions are much easier to identify and manage when they're found early. The hardest problems to recognize are often the ones that never announce themselves. So why does this happen? Because vision isn't created by the eyes alone. Your eyes capture light, but your brain creates the image you actually see. During childhood, the eyes and brain are constantly learning to work together. This visual system develops rapidly during the early years of life. If the image from one eye is consistently blurry, or if the eyes aren't properly aligned, the brain may adapt to that difference over time. That adaptation can make the problem less noticeable to the child. Common reasons include refractive errors such as nearsightedness, farsightedness, or astigmatism. Some children may have eye alignment problems. Others may have reduced vision in one eye associated with conditions such as amblyopia. Every situation is different. That is why guessing isn't enough. A comprehensive pediatric eye examination evaluates much more than whether a child needs glasses. It helps assess how the eyes focus, move, work together, and support healthy visual development. Because healthy eyesight isn't simply about seeing clearly. It is about how the entire visual system functions as one. Now here is a myth that deserves to disappear. My child gets good grades, so their vision must be fine. Not necessarily. Some children compensate remarkably well. They memorize instead of clearly seeing. They work harder than their classmates. They move a little closer. They squint just enough. They adapt. Until adapting becomes exhausting. Good grades don't automatically mean healthy vision. Neither does being athletic. Or never complaining. Or passing a quick screening at school. Here is the question every parent should ask instead. Has my child's vision ever been evaluated comprehensively by an eye care professional who works with children? Because there is a big difference between assuming everything is fine and actually knowing. Sometimes one appointment provides reassurance. Sometimes it identifies something that deserves attention. Either outcome is valuable, because when it comes to a child's developing vision, confidence should come from an examination, not from assumptions. And next, we'll show exactly what happens during a visit with a pediatric optometrist, and why it is much more than reading letters on a chart. So, what actually happens during a visit to a pediatric optometrist? Many parents imagine one thing. Read the letters, get glasses, go home. But a comprehensive pediatric eye exam is much more than that. The goal isn't just to determine whether a child can see clearly. It is to understand how the entire visual system works. A pediatric optometrist may evaluate visual acuity, eye alignment, eye movements, focusing ability, depth perception, and overall eye health. The exact tests depend on the child's age, symptoms, and medical history. If a problem is identified, the next step depends on the diagnosis. For some children, glasses may be appropriate. Others may benefit from additional monitoring, referral, or another treatment plan recommended by their eye care professional. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. That is why a professional evaluation matters. Because the earlier a problem is identified, the sooner families can make informed decisions about the next steps. Knowledge replaces uncertainty, and that is one of the greatest benefits of a comprehensive eye exam. Here is a question. Which child is more likely to have a hidden vision problem? The child who struggles in school, or the child who is doing perfectly fine? Most people choose the first, but here is the surprise. Sometimes it is the second. Children are incredibly adaptable. Many never complain because they don't know their vision is different. Some continue getting good grades, some play sports, some seem completely healthy. That is exactly what makes childhood vision problems so easy to miss. The biggest warning sign may be the absence of obvious warning signs. So before you assume everything is okay, ask yourself one simple question: has my child's vision ever been evaluated comprehensively? Because what you don't see could be exactly what matters most. Let's separate myths from facts. Myth: my child would tell me if they couldn't see. Reality: many children don't realize their vision is different because it is the only way they've ever seen the world. Myth: school vision screenings catch everything. Reality: school screenings are helpful, but they are not a substitute for a comprehensive eye examination. Myth: my child doesn't need glasses, so there is no reason for an eye exam. Reality: a pediatric eye examination evaluates much more than whether glasses are needed. And one more. Myth: everything looks normal. Reality: some vision conditions develop quietly, with few or no obvious symptoms. Here is the truth. The goal isn't to make parents worried. It is to make families informed. Because informed parents are better prepared to support their child's healthy visual development. And sometimes, one routine eye examination provides exactly the reassurance a family needs. Or it identifies something early, before it becomes a bigger challenge later. If there is one message to remember from this video, it is this. A comprehensive eye exam isn't about expecting bad news. It is about understanding how your child's vision is developing. Most children who visit a pediatric optometrist won't receive a life-changing diagnosis. Many leave with reassurance that their eyes are developing normally. Others may discover an issue that can be monitored or managed appropriately. Either outcome is valuable, because when it comes to a child's vision, waiting for obvious symptoms isn't always the best strategy. Children grow quickly, their visual system grows with them. That is why regular age-appropriate eye care plays an important role in supporting healthy development. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is giving every child the opportunity to see, learn, play, and explore the world as clearly and comfortably as possible. Sometimes, one routine appointment today can provide confidence for years to come. If this video helped you understand childhood vision a little better, share it with another parent, grandparent, teacher, or caregiver. You never know who might recognize a sign they hadn't noticed before. And if you enjoy evidence-based videos that explain children's health in a simple, practical way, subscribe to the channel. We'll continue covering topics about child development, pediatric eye health, nutrition, sleep, mental health, and many other subjects that help families make informed decisions. If there is a pediatric topic you'd like us to explain next, leave it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your suggestions. Medical disclaimer: this video is intended for educational purposes only, and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have concerns about your child's vision or eye health, consult a qualified pediatric optometrist, pediatric ophthalmologist, or your healthcare provider for an individualized evaluation. Thank you for watching. Take care of your child's eyes, because every great adventure begins with seeing the world clearly. We'll see you in the next video.